Alright you guys, what's happening? Welcome back to another matchday reaction. It is the international break, so we've been watching Scotland this time, but at least for once it was actually quite fun. Albania 0, Scotland 4 in the Nations League. A lot of positives to take for the performance today, but I think the number one thing we have to acknowledge is Albania were terrible. They were so poor tonight, it was unbelievable. They were indisciplined. They struggled to retain possession. Their game plan seemed to be just shithousing, to be honest, but once you're 1-0 down after 15 minutes and then a few minutes later you have a man sent off, it's kind of tough to do from there. I think obviously Alex McLeish needed this result tonight. If he had lost to Albania, then he was in massive trouble, but to go out there and do the job as professionally as Scotland did, with a few breaks along the way, it has to be said, but I thought Scotland were very good tonight, albeit, like I say, against pretty poor opposition. So the first thing you've got to really look at is the lineup. Now obviously this has been a nightmare week for Scotland, considering how many guys have actually pulled out of this squad. So it was possible that we could look at the starting 11 tonight and think, Jesus Christ, this is going to be difficult. But what was strange was actually, despite the fact that we're missing some important players, you actually looked at the starting 11 and thought, you know what, that's not bad. So we started McGregor in goal, Patterson and Robertson at fullback, Bates and McKenna at centre half, McGregor and Armstrong and Christie in the midfield, Forrest on the right, Fraser on the left and Fletcher up front. I think there's a few guys tonight who did their cause no harm, to be honest, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Scotland play the same starting 11 on Tuesday, to be honest. So I think specifically guys like Ryan Christie as well, who had a very good game tonight. I think that tonight will be very good for him, because I don't think he'd have started if everybody had been available, but he started and he had a really good game and he was a big part of the first goal. One of the things about Ryan Christie is obviously he's a very, very good player on the ball, but off the ball he's very good at pressing people high and really forcing defenders to make mistakes on the ball, and that's what's led to the first goal. He's pressing them high and he's been able to rob the ball off them, give it to Ryan Fraser, and Fraser's just done the rest. He's taken it into the box, dropped the shoulder, gone onto his right foot and curled it around the goalkeeper. A really good finish for a young lad that came through the Aberdeen Academy, so obviously I was delighted for him. I thought Scotland in the first 15 minutes were good, not great. They started fast and then kind of slipped out a little bit after that, but to get the goal was obviously very good, settled them down. Albania's indiscipline was starting to show. I think they were quite happy to make the most of every challenge and hope that the reaction would win them a free kick, which to be fair did happen a couple of times, but it's actually something similar to that that's got them in trouble. Now, the guy does win the ball, but he's come over the top of the ball, so there's no denying that it's a card and a booking. Forrest has kind of made the most of it despite the fact there wasn't a lot of contact, and it was funny because it was Albania's captain, I can't remember what his name was, to be honest, but he's just reacted so poorly to it. He's got in, I think, Ryan Christie's face and just dropped a little headbutt on him, and regardless of how much malice or anything there is in that, if you do that, then you know you're going to get sent off. So it was just complete stupidity on his part. And it was kind of confusing watching it on the TV, because obviously he got booked and then there was the bit of confusion. And I don't think any of the cameras actually picked up him being sent off. I think that was part of the issue. And what happened by the looks of it, and I'm not 100% on this, but it looked like the fourth official was the one who spotted the headbutt. So the referee, what you do see on the cameras, the referee shows the yellow card and his eyes are immediately locked on the fourth official. I'm assuming it was the fourth official who saw it who told the referee that he's got to go. And then, like I say, I didn't see him actually getting the red card, but then you see him wandering across the goalkeeper, handing off the armband and then heading down the tunnel. And from there, to be honest, Albania were screwed. We've got the second goal, and to be honest, it's never a penalty. It was Christie again, fouled just outside the box. Stuart Armstrong's taken the free kick, he's hit it straight at the wall, and it has hit the guy's arm, but the guy's arm is kind of at his side. I thought there was no argument that that should have been a penalty, but it's been given and Fletcher's put it away for 2-0, and at that point you absolutely know it's game over. It's I wasn't impressed with Albania at Hampden, and tonight I thought they were worse, and obviously they were down to 10 men, so you knew they weren't really coming back for that one. The third goal, I can't remember who's played the through ball for him, and it was actually quite funny. It was great patience, because you can see Forrest making the run and you're waiting for the guy to just release it, but he's smart and he holds on to it for a wee bit longer and waits for Forrest to make that run where he can just slip him in and he'll be one-on-one with the goalkeeper. It's not a great finish by Forrest, goalkeeper's got a hand to it, but it's found its way into the net and it's 3-0. But the fourth goal was brilliant. I thought that was magic from James Forrest. I think, to be honest, if Messi had scored that goal, you know what people would be like on social media. But yeah, so it's just a ball inside in the box. His first touch with his right foot is absolutely brilliant. He's just dinked it over the defender and up up at that perfect height to just volley it home with his left foot. Absolutely brilliant for James Forrest, to be honest. I know you can try things like that when you're 3-0 up and cruising, but great goal. Thought it was excellent, and yeah, I thought James Forrest was absolute dynamite in the second half. So I was pleased with that. I think the only guy really in that Scotland team that we can say had a poor game tonight was probably Patterson. But even then, I thought he had an okay second half. I thought he had a difficult first half. Second half was pretty good, to be honest. In terms of the whole back four, though, I mean, I like Scott McKenna, obviously. David Bates was never a guy who massively impressed me when he was at Rangers, but there's two things to say about that. One, we don't have great options at centre half, and two, I don't really have a lot of confidence in Bates at centre half, and I like McKenna, but I don't think McKenna is in that place right now where he's going to carry somebody through a game, especially at international level. I don't think McKenna's that player at all, to be honest. So that gives me a little bit of worry if that's which it probably will be the centre half pairing against Israel on Tuesday. But I thought McKenna had an okay game. I thought Bates had a reasonable game. He had his moments. He got turned once in the first half. His positional sense at times wasn't great. I didn't think he had a bad game by any means, though. But his performance was one of those where I think he got away with it because of who he was playing. So, yeah, I thought Patterson had a poor game. Robertson had his usual. Robertson's just a very, very good player. And the wide guys were just brilliant. Forrest in the second half was fantastic, and I thought Ryan Fraser in the first half was brilliant. So that was where Scotland got a lot of their joy, and I think that's something we need to really look at doing more often, because so often with Scotland we have the stodgiest team possible, and having two guys who are creative wide players who can not only create something for someone else but create something for themselves, I think makes a massive difference. So I would love to see those two playing as the wingers for Scotland for the next few years, definitely. I think Forrest has been on great form at Celtic, and obviously Ryan Fraser's been on excellent form for Bournemouth in the Premier League. So I would like to see those guys staying out on the wings for the next wee while. Fletcher had an okay game, to be honest. He buried the penalty. To be honest, he's not going to be in the team, though. I think that if this whole Lee Griffiths saga ends well, Griffiths is probably the man for Scotland. And to be honest, I think the way Stephen Naismith was playing before he got injured, I think Naismith's obviously in the team ahead of Fletcher. He didn't do anything wrong, but I thought he was pretty quiet considering Scotland were an attacking threat for a lot of that game. But more positives than negatives. It does come with a caveat, like I say, that I thought Albania were terrible, but it's a win and it gives Scotland a chance to win the group. So the game on Tuesday, it comes down to Scotland needing a win. We knew that pretty much already. Scotland are level on points with Israel on 6. And obviously if it's a draw, it'll end up on 7, but whatever draw it was, Israel would win the head-to-head, so they would win the group. And winning this group is massive, not only for being promoted to the B League, but it's even bigger for Euro 2020, because if you win the group, you give yourself an opportunity to qualify, even if you don't make it through the normal qualifying. So I think that this is a massive game for Scotland on Tuesday, giving themselves at least something if qualifying goes like it fucking usually does. So hopefully they'll get the result on Tuesday. If they play like that, they'll probably be alright. It's worth remembering that Albania beat Israel in this Nations League not that long ago, so it's not like, even though Scotland played well tonight, it's not like Israel are infallible, although granted, we made them look like fucking Brazil 1970 a couple of months ago. Just a dreadful Scotland performance over there. Hopefully we'll do a wee bit better at Hampden on Tuesday, and hopefully we can wrap up this group with a win on Tuesday. But I'm going to wrap this video up right now. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new as well. We're still trying to build up this channel. It's been not too bad so far, and the feedback has been great, so I really appreciate that a lot, and I really appreciate everybody who's hit the red button so far. A lot of the content on this is going to be Aberdeen FC, because that is my team, but it's an international week, so I thought we might as well talk about Scotland. So I will probably be back on Tuesday. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to be able to watch the game live, but hopefully I will be, and we'll do something about this on Tuesday. So I've been QMJ, and I will talk to you again sometime.